Here's the Kershaw Skyline. I've been waiting a while to do a review of this knife, mainly because I want to make sure if I like the knife or not. First, I'm just going to tell the specifications of the knife based on Kershaw's website. It's Sandvik 14C 28N stainless steel with a stone wash finish. The handle is textured black G10. The blade is 3 1/8 of an inch. The weight, which is one of the best things about this knife, is 2.3 ounces. So that puts it in the use of a great EDC blade. So first, I'm just going to tell you my opinions of this knife, what I thought right off the back. Whenever I opened it up out of the box, I liked the way the knife looked. I didn't like it as much as some other knives, but that look has grew on me, and I like this knife more and more every time I look at it. Whenever I first got it out of the box, the flipper down here wouldn't come out like that. Whenever I first got it out of the box, if I tried to flip it, it would just do something like that. I had to really give it a hard flick to get it open, which now you don't have to do that. Now you can just flick it. So I just needed to wear in some. Another thing about this knife that I didn't like at first, which I still really don't like, but I also like it because of the weight, it only has a steel liner on one side, and that's the side with the lock on it. I really wish they would have put one on the other side also. I'm not that concerned with weight as long as it's under 4 ounces. Because I don't carry that much stuff in my pockets. All I really carry is my wallet and a little watch to tell the time. And of course a knife. The blade grind on this is a hollow grind, which makes it great for food prep. So now we're going to look at a food preparation demo for the Kershaw Skyline. I'm just going to cut up these 2 apples here that I'm going to put in my rabbit traps. And I'm going to be comparing the Kershaw Skyline to a regular paring knife. You can see they're very similar. Both hollow ground there, and hollow ground there. Neither one of them is hollow ground from the very top all the way down. So I'm going to cut this apple with the Skyline, and this apple with the regular paring knife. And we'll just see how it does. I'm just going to be slicing it off here. I have to say, the Skyline feels really smooth. It's doing really good. Now I'm just going to stack them up sideways and slice them off like this. Alright, so I'd say the Skyline done pretty good. They're all sliced apart. It's just stuck together because of the juices in it. Move this to the side. Okay, clean off the blade a little bit. Get a paper towel here. You don't want to leave any type of oils like that on your blade, or else it'll rust or corrode the blade. Okay, I need to sharpen the paring knife. So this is the same way that I sharpen my Skyline, which puts a razor edge on it. It's just a regular honer, and I'm just going to sharpen it like this. Okay, that's the same amount of times I've done the Skyline to put a razor edge on it. So now we're going to compare. I feel like the Skyline is doing better. I'm going to sharpen this one a little bit more. Try that again. Okay, here's what I'm noticing. If you watch, it feels like it gets stuck and then jams through it real fast. As the Skyline just slices right through it. So I'm going to try doing a little bit more of a saw motion with it. That works a little bit better with the paring knife if I do this. This is the Chicago cutlery paring knife, by the way, for those of you who are wondering. I feel like the Skyline was much better than the Chicago cutlery. They're very similar in size, shape, and same grinds on them. Both sharpened the same way, about the same length. They're both hollow grinds. And let's just see how it does like this. So you can just see it stays sharp. Right there I went through some seeds. So it has no problem at all. Okay, so move that aside. Also, these thumb studs here serve no purpose other than when you open the blade, they keep the blade in the locked position by coming in contact with the G10 handles, which is also another reason I think this needs another steel liner in it, is because this thumb stud hits the G10 there, and whenever it hits the G10, it could cause the G10 just to break a little bit until it gets to where there's up and down blade play or left to right blade play. But out of the box, there was no blade play on this knife. The next thing I like about this knife is the handle. The reason I like the handle is because it fits right in my hand perfect. However, I wish they would have put jimping from the handle scales up to the blade, so about that far. I feel like it'd be much more useful. But for the price you get for this knife, which is $36, at least that's the price that I found it at, I believe it's a great deal. Especially at the weight that it comes at for what you get for the money. Next thing about this knife is the pocket clip. You can only put it tip up or tip down. There is no left or right carry. And it's not a deep riding pocket clip, so about this much of the knife will stick out on this side. And if you put it on this side, about that much of the knife will stick out. So if you put it tip down, less amount of the knife will stick out of your pocket. This knife has bronze phosphorus bushings, which is one of the reasons that it opens up so fast. Because bronze phosphorus bushings is a low friction type of bushing for knives, so it doesn't give as much friction whenever it opens. Back to the thumb stud thing, you really can't open it with a thumb stud, or at least I can't. I just can't get my thumb on it to do it. But then again, as you can tell, I've got pretty big hands. This knife is like the length of my finger. But in the hand it feels good. The handle's the perfect size. I like everything about this knife other than I wish it had a steel liner, because I'm just one of those guys that like the steel liners in his knife. But I don't really have any complaints other than that about this knife. And it's just a great overall knife for the money that you buy for it, and it's available because you can buy this at Walmart and basically any knife shop. So good job, Kershaw.